We are halfway through the showdown in Motown. Democrats battling to be president will be in downtown Detroit. Tonight, these 10 candidates get their turn to grab your attention, including frontrunner Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Cory Booker. With all the attention on Detroit this week, will it make a difference when voters go to the polls? Our Paula Tutman is live at the Fox Theater this afternoon with a closer look at that question. Paula, what are folks telling you?
Well, they're saying a lot, and it's very, very important. But first, let me just kind of set the scene for you. I'm actually in the middle of Woodward Avenue, and that is because it is shut down and sealed off. You can see that there's heavy police presence. Candidates are actually starting to show up. Over here, Norman, if you will, we also have people who are lining up to get in. You cannot get into this quadrant unless you have a media pass or a special credential that says that you can be inside that building in just a few moments. And it is a big show, but the big question is whether or not it's going to translate into people actually going into the voting booth. There's clear excitement surrounding the debate venue.
Feel the energy that's down here. This is exciting. It's a time to get involved. It's time to vote.
The pundits have made it clear the road to the White House moves up Woodward and takes a dogleg, up and down I-75 and across I-94. The Midwest states will decide the final outcome, which is why it is no coincidence that the debates are being held in Detroit. But while some believe it will translate into more Michiganders getting energized to actually cast a vote.
I hope so. Gosh, I hope so. I don't care who you vote for, just vote. Really, just vote.
With the way that the politics are in D.C., I hope that people will come out, and the only way it's going to make a change is if we come out and we vote.
Keith Williams, chair of the Michigan Democratic Party Black Caucus, believes if last night's debate was any indication, that may not be the case for Detroiters, Flint residents, and other urban centers in the state where voters have felt unheard and disenfranchised and not so willing to show up and vote.
It was 2 hours into the debate before they said anything about urban issues.
I've talked to people in neighborhoods. They're like, yeah, I'm registered, but I'm not voting. Yeah, I'm not gonna. How are you gonna get them to engage?
All we need to do is get a picture of Donald Trump and carry it through the neighborhoods. Because this guy's a racist. He doesn't represent my value, and more importantly, he doesn't represent a lot of people's values.
But I don't think that's realistic, and I don't think that's fair. I hear what you're saying, but I don't think that's fair. Is that really going to get somebody on Fenkell who doesn't want to vote, who says my vote doesn't matter? Is that really going to get them to the polls?
But we, as elected officials and people in leadership, has got to go talk to those folks. You can't run away from them folks. You got to go talk about their concerns.
According to the Office of the Michigan Secretary of State, 63% of registered voters turned out in 2016. Now, the more important number is 37% of registered voters stayed home. Williams says the work to get registered voters to actually vote will not be done at these debates, but by boots on the ground.
This is a great city. Downtown looks good. You got Tiger Still, Comerica Park. You got the ambiance of a great scenario. But the bottom line is this: it's going to take more than ambiance. It's going to take substance to get us to the polls.
And so Democrats are not worried about these folks lined up to get into the beautiful Fox. They're pretty sure these folks are going to show up at the polls regardless. It's people in the neighborhoods, in urban areas and rural areas they feel they need to actually reach out to and touch. When you consider how many votes they lost by Donald Trump by in 2016, that's how many doors they knocked on and how many hands were shaken. Speaking of the beautiful Fox, take a look at it. It is amazing, and there may not be a winner declared this evening. Oh, maybe there is. I think it's the Fox, and I think it's Detroit. We're going to talk about that coming up at 5, guys.
All right, we look forward to it. Thank you, Paula. Also new at 5, Mara McDonald will preview what we should be looking for as the next group of candidates takes the stage. Then at 5:30, we'll check in with Michigan Republicans for their reaction to last night's debate and what they're expecting tonight. Plus, you can learn more about all of the candidates at clickondetroit.com.